guys, welcome to a Precious White podcast. I am your host, Precious White. How's everybody doing today? I'm so glad that you guys were able to join me and that you guys are actually choosing my podcast. I know that it seems like very empty in here. I had to manipulate little things to get this to happen. But today in this episode, we're actually going to be talking about all things precious. And that being said, we're actually gonna get to know me today. And the reason I want you guys to do this is because my podcast is going to be a lot of bit about me and my life, but I'm hoping that you guys will then be able to enjoy and find relatable content. I also do hope to incorporate some fun facts, some resources for you guys as we get deeper into everything that else that is going on. So let's get right into it. Question number one. Why do you want to start a video podcast and podcast? So again, a lot of this podcast is actually going to be about me. Obviously, that's the best thing that I know. And it's going to be, it's it's solely actually for the purpose of me. I want to be able to watch myself grow. And as a mom, as a wife, as a parent, as a person, we don't always catch the glimpse of ourselves from other people's perspectives. So, this podcast is actually for you guys to join me as I watch myself grow. And hopefully, you guys can learn along the way as well with me. I am 22 as of right now. I'll be 23 this year. I am married and I am also a homeowner. And those we'll get more into as time goes on. But again, the sole purpose of me starting a podcast and a video podcast is to gain insight on my own learning. In three short words, describe your childhood. In three short words, describe my childhood. My childhood was blurry, number one. Number two, very hectic, I would say, from my perspective. For what I remember, very fun. Very, very fun to what I had available to me. What are my goals in life? My goals in life are to be able to watch myself, one, grow up, two, watch my kids grow up, three, figure out who I am as a person and what exactly I am meant to do in my life. I would say that I'm very outgoing, that I'm very well spoken. I have a few models that I like to say to myself is I'll do it with a kid on my hip. Which is actually funny because I actually seen on YouTube and Facebook there actually is a mom who sells one of those hip carriers. So I think that's very interesting. I will do it with a kid on my hip if I have to. I take everything as a learning opportunity. So that's one thing about me is that I enjoy life and I don't always look at everything as a bad thing because there's always a lesson within it. Always a lesson. Question number 4. Who inspires you or who is your role model? Oh, my role model is Jesus. Let's just be honest. I would aspire to be more like Jesus as I continue to grow. Again, I'm 22. And that's the biggest thing about me is that I actually find myself my own role model. Being able to watch myself grow and knowing where I was and where I can be is it plays a big part in my life, and that's what inspires me. Makeup or no makeup, and why? I'm not a makeup type of girly. I believe that beauty lies within confidence. And wow, hearing myself say that out loud is crazy. Um, Beauty lies within confidence, and that is true. Like, you will never be the most beautiful. You will never glow as much as you hope to glow if you do not find your own confidence. Now, don't get me wrong, and don't cancel me just yet. I don't think I finished that answer, but basically, I feel as if makeup only makes you better, but you cannot be better than the original thing because you're one of a kind. You get what I'm saying. So I'm a no makeup type of girly, but again, if you love makeup and makeup does you justice, by all means, go ahead. Number 7. What about my favorite food makes it my favorite food? My favorite food, I would have to say currently or all time favorite, is a good home uh rib, a good home rib style with that falling off the bone, the mac and cheese on the side. You gotta get the baked beans in there, throw a little potato salad. I'm talking, y'all asked me about my favorite food, and I'm sitting here telling y'all about a good home favorite meal. Asha's Kitchen, right? So there's this recipe. It's called chicken or Tuscan chicken, creamy chicken, I believe it's called. And basically, it's that marry me pasta, but without the basil and without the basil and but those are things that can be added. You're just making it a little bit fancier. Basically, we started off with that recipe in this household, and so now it's become a fan favorite. I get my kids to eat that, and they enjoy it. Like, my husband will eat 2 or 3 plates of that if I made it, and it's so good. I've gotten to the point of making it, and I don't even need the recipe. What is my nationality? All right, y'all. This is a complicated answer, and y'all gonna find this out about me real quick. I have a daddy, but I don't know who my daddy is. I am Italian, and Polish. Okay, so your girl got a good mix of Caucasian in her, and that's pretty much all I know. Alrighty, y'all. So we do have a special guest joining us. My lovely, lovely 3-month-old, my son. Hopefully, he doesn't make too much noise or too much shenanigans with him. But back to the questions, y'all. Question: what do I plan on doing? What is one thing that I plan to strive to do? I plan to strive to do better than the last generation, meaning my parents or my parents' parents. We live in a whole different type of society. I'm not gonna lie to you guys on that one. So, off the top of my head, the first thing that I think of when I think of striving to do better is basically not giving my children the because I said so answer, more so of the explaining to them why. Because as we keep getting older and older, we have to realize that we need to do better as parents. And when I say do better as parents, I mean we need to understand that we are not raising children. We are raising growing adults. And these children who are becoming growing adults need to be able to understand how to communicate better. That's one thing that I didn't learn how to do when I was younger, was be able to communicate. And so when I got into a relationship, it was hard for me. Or when I entered the real world, it was hard for me to keep relationships because I didn't know how to communicate. So I think the one thing that I would do better is to, not because I said so, is because yada yada yada. I'm teaching my children how to communicate better. The next question is, what is your favorite hobby? If I had a favorite hobby and I had all the money in the world to do it, or to keep expanding and growing and growing and growing and keep doing it and doing it and doing it, it would be to build things. I don't mean no DIY. I mean actually doing the roofing, doing the sidings, learning how to, or doing the decks. Like, that's one of the projects that I plan on doing next year to my home. Um, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see how it comes out. I'm excited to do that. But if I had a hobby, that building things is my hobby. Fixing things is my hobby. And I don't mean like, little no, I mean get me dirty. I want to do the hardworking stuff. And last question, a fun fact for you guys. The last question is, what was my favorite job? Okay, I have top two favorite jobs. I've worked at a casino type place, which was amazing, which is like the sorry, he don't like being put in different positions and stuff like that. But the number one job, I always say, if I could go back to this job, it would be Chipotle, hands down. When I say working at a Chipotle, the hours fly by, everything's fast paced, and I'm not the one for too much variety. Don't get me wrong, you could get a lot of different varieties of meals, not males, but meals at Chipotle. It was very simple. It was very simple, and like, everybody's about to come for me in the comment section and saying, trust me, Dunkin' is simple, or yada yada is simple. You're right, but at Chipotle, it was 5 different things you could get. It was a bowl of tacos, a burrito, a salad, a bowl, tacos, burrito, or salad. So 4 things that you could get, and everything else was one or two, one or two, one or two, one or two. Like, and it was just simple as that. Like, I honestly would say that I would go back to Chipotle. I hope you guys will listen to me in the next few podcasts, and we would definitely get more in depth, and keep it relatable, keep it factual, and keep it fun as well. And hopefully I can bring in some more guests for you guys, and just show you that it is possible for you guys to do whatever you put your mind to as well. And just to remind you guys as well, you'll hear me repeat a lot of words. Just to remind you guys as well that you guys can track your own progress. Don't let nobody else track it for you, because nobody else is going to know you better than you. All right, y'all. Peace out.